This is a acceptance video for 54-inch Bullard Cutmaster, which has been sold to Sandmeyer Steel in Philadelphia. The machine has been configured for a special application for Sandmeyer, which includes fully functional side head as a Cutmaster, along with a cross rail assembly where a fixture for locating their parts is going to be installed by Sandmeyer. The machine's gone through the shop. Side head's been refitted. Side head ram was redone. New top gibs were manufactured for the side head. The stops were installed. Electric stops were put onto the machine. This machine is equipped with a floor shifter, which should give Sandmeyer flexibility on controlling their operation of their hold down device. This machine was set up with an e-stop assembly where we have an outside motor-driven hydraulic system installed. The machine is a 3.2 to 120 RPM machine with 20 speeds. We also have a main drive start-stop, a coolant start-stop, which not supplied this application, but the electrical is in for it, an e-stop push button and spindle run jog commands, as well as a standard Bullard function pendant, which allows table neutralization. We also included an emergency stop push button on the cross rail feed box. This feed box is non-functional. It has been installed strictly as a support for the two vertical shafts for the feed and rapid assembly. A Sentry spring guard has been installed on the rapid traverse shaft to protect the operator. And the outside motor-driven hydraulic system is shown here. The 5 horsepower motor driving a Vickers V20 pump through bulkhead fittings in the rear of the clutch case unit. Standard Bullard guard, along with a 30 horsepower main motor, is installed. The hydraulic system was reworked on the machine, including the electro-hydraulic shifter block. That has been rebuilt. Accumulator has been recharged. The entire system is set up to Bullard standard unloading valve system. We set up the electrical to include spares running from the main electrical cabinet to a rear junction box, as well as the side column junction box. In addition, the pendant and side head junction boxes also are equipped with multiple spares, which should allow installation of the fixture assembly. The machine has been set up for operation on 440 volts. The lockout point has been identified for the machine. The serial number is 29246. Show you the inside of the electrical cabinet. New IEC electrics were installed. 2 kVA transformer for operation of the solenoids. None of the wiring in the electrical panel will need to be reinstalled, with the exception of the main motor. Overloads have been set for the main motor and the hydraulic. A Agastat timer assembly is put in here to allow for the controlled e-stop function that Tim may have spoken to you about. A 100 amp DIN Westinghouse circuit breaker is shown here. The electrical will need to be brought into the top of the circuit breaker for the machine. A 3-jaw Bullard universal chuck has been installed on the machine, along with a set of 3 hard jaws. As I mentioned before, the feed bracket is non-functional. Everything has been sealed on the bracket with aluminum covers, as well as gaskets. We will maintain an oil level in this, as there are sleeves on the back rear of the feed bracket to support the shafts. We're going to have Ray Chazinski run through the machine for you and let you hear the operation. Hydraulic pump and main motor are started by push button on the pedestal, showing rapid traverse movement of the side head. machine being set up with cross rail going to be in a fixed position, it may help to reduce noise by removing one of the gears in the top box. That's something that can be discussed with Tim afterwards. Once the rail elevation is not required, it certainly can be eliminated. He's showing the positioning of the rail going up. This is a standard Bullard 54 capacity machine, 37 inches under the cross rail. That's good, Ray. How about running through a few speeds for me, and maybe a couple feeds as well? As I said, this is an intermediate range machine, 3.2 to 120. What speed are you in, Ray? 4.8 RPMs. The machine can be stopped in either of the two push button stations by pressing the spindle stop command, or where Ray's showing here the operate position, brake on position. In order to change speeds, the brake on position needs to be engaged. I'm going to step back because I think he's going to hit me with the oil on the table. What speed you got, Ray?
45.
Okay, not so bad. 45. That's good, Ray. Why don't you give me that speed again and then hit an E-stop for me, all right? Just going to engage the spindle speed again at 45, and then hit an E-stop. The E-stop will stop the main motor, stop the table, and in about 5 seconds, the hydraulics drop out. That is the design for the E-stop. That's good, Ray. How about give me a couple other speeds, and then let's go through a couple feeds, if you would, please. This machine is set up, our heating system just kicked on there too, so that's some of the noise you'll hear in the background. That's good, thanks. Can you gauge a side head feed for us there, Ray?
Yeah.
In order to run the table, both the push button units need to be in the spindle run position. Here's a feed command for slide to the left.
That's the slowest.
That's good. Just give me one other one or so. All 16 feeds have been checked out. All 20 speeds have been run. The machine's been running for a couple days here on the floor now. There's a faster feed rate, vertical and horizontal. Can you trip a stop for me, Ray?
Yeah.
Just by hand? You just simulated a stop going across. This machine's equipped with feed stops. Those dogs can be set up if desired to run. Doesn't matter which direction you're going, the feed stop will kick both handles out. That's basically the machine. We've installed a two-piece belt card on the back of the machine, adjustable motor base, which will require the motor be bolted leg to the floor. A new filter's been installed on the lubrication side, as well as the standard Kudo filter for the main front end of the machine. This machine is going to be blocked with the counterweights on the inside of the column. That's why this cover hasn't been sealed yet. When the machine's been received, this cover will need to be taken off and the blocking will need to be removed. There'll be specific instructions for that. New SO cords were installed for the moving components. A stop block has been put in for the side head. The machine is fully functional and ready to be put to work. questions or need additional information from us, just give us a holler and we'd be glad to show anything in particular. Hand index on the side head for a tool post. That's going to be the only spot that requires a grease fitting. Everything else on the machine is oil lubrication.